Hey everyone, it's Friday. Welcome to the SHIRO Show, the only show 100% dedicated to SEGA Saturn. I'm Saturn Dave, and this is my de facto partner, my partner in crime, member SHIRO number 0, Patrick
Zero to
Trainer,
not hero. How's
Trainoco.
it going? How is it going? How's it going? How's it going?
I'll tell you how it's going. I'm
Good.
small and you're big. We all, you know what happened is I
We're
did
not the
something else with
same.
my camera during the week, and then like I was trying to get it back where it goes and I couldn't, so whatever.
I look more lit today because I
Yeah.
literally got more lights. So
Actually,
now I
you
look
do.
like a human being.
You look a lot better, yeah. Yeah, so thank you everybody who is joining us, all 14 of you in the live chat right now. If you guys happen to be watching or you join up, please click on the link in the description to join us in our Discord server. We'd love to have you guys join us in the live chat. Hang out for the next segment where we're going to live stream games, and you guys can be a part of that and put your 2 cents worth in. Even if you don't join us in the Discord, please feel free to share this out with your friends and help grow this community. This community is all about you guys, all about Saturn fans. So you guys can help by sharing this on social media, maybe sharing it with some friends that you think might like Saturn or might like the content, and we can help grow this community together. How you doing,
make
Pat?
Sure to subscribe, like the
Oh, yeah.
video, ring the bell, whatever the YouTubers say to
That's
get
right.
people to subscribe to them. Do all those things and,
Yeah.
and do all those things.
Exactly.
Also, my volume's apparently low for some reason.
Is your volume low? Okay.
That's what Mr. Panda Man says.
Is everything good on your end? I guess I can just boost you up on the Discord.
Give me the boost.
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 Yeah, bear with me,
That
guys,
bass boost.
because I may
click
very
on the-
well have like a filter on you. Yes, I
Yeah.
do. I have a compressor on you. So instead of just boosting your video, I think I'm just going to boost your output gain. How is that?
How do I sound? I will talk about what's up with me while you figure that out. So,
Yeah.
a couple new things. I got new headphones because my other ones were falling apart. So, got
Yeah, your
some
headphones look awesome.
Yeah, Biodynamics DT77s Pros. Got the 80 ohm version, so it's a little bit more compatible with my equipment. I was thinking of stepping up to Big Boy 250 ohms, but I was kind of worried about the compatibility and equipment, so I just went for the 80 ohms for now.
Mm-hmm.
The 250 in the future, and then of course collecting again. So I got big stack iPods. So
He's
I
got
yeah.
What, did you just go around your neighborhood on e-waste day? No, I'm just kidding.
I literally just went on OfferUp, and I think I got all these for about 150 or something for all these.
Nice.
So I got this iPod Nano. It's like 5th gen, but it's kind of knackered and not working right now. So it's probably gonna go e-waste. I got a little iPod Touch. It's only 8 gigs, so it took me like 2 hours to fix it. So I think I'm just gonna turn it into a emulation machine
Mm-hmm.
for the planes. I got an 80 gig 5.5 gen, but unfortunately the connector on the bottom is not responding. So I need to put another new motherboard in and get that fixed.
Gotcha.
I got another 80 gig 7th gen, but what was the issue with it? What was the issue with this one? Oh yeah, the hard drive's dying, so I need to put a new hard drive in with this one.
Pretty easy to do.
Yeah, I just need to make sure not to rip the connector out again.
Yeah, don't do that.
And I got I guess a 5th gen 60 gig that's like in pristine condition. That really everything works on it, but I want to put a hard drive in anyways and make it like a terabyte.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I have Rockbox on all of them because I want good music quality and not whatever Apple's serving me up in their base level. So I'm not gonna deal with that. So it's all gonna be Rockbox, FLAC files. I'm gonna put a gig in here and have all my music on the go.
Man, you're such a nerd. But I love you. Hey,
I need this music. My phone sucks, so
yeah, no, I hear you there. I mean, phones can be convenient. I do, the YouTube music thing every once in a while, Spotify and everything. But I mean, as far as audio quality, yeah, no, it leaves much to be desired. So I can definitely get down with the iPod and the Rockbox and the nice headphones. Anybody who's in the chat,
Get down with the Walkman though.
let us know, Nick, if you happen to be listening, if that audio tweak fixed Pat's audio, if I need to boost him up some more. Would love to know. When you got your cassettes, you got your Walkman there. Dude, that I'm jealous, man. Look at that. That's awesome. I would love to get me some, like, an analog tape player, but I pretty much gave away all that stuff. All I really have extensively is like mini disc and vinyl. But
yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, but I'm actually looking at another Walkman hopefully this Friday, but we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see how that fares. I don't think the guy's gonna go easy on me with the price, so
probably
it's
not.
Be top notch. But
people
we'll
know,
see. We'll see.
A lot of, you got to find someone who doesn't know what they have, right? But then again, you know, if it usually those kind of folks are the old, you know, mom who's getting rid of her kid's stuff and it's just like in the bottom of a box, so it's probably not in very good quality. It's probably not in good shape, you know. Oh man.
But yeah, the good thing is the guy actually owns a hi-fi store and he does all the maintenance on it. So if I can get it at a decent price, I might go for it. But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Night of Dragon, he's kind of wigging out over our video wall.
Wall of videos.
Oh no, he retracted the message. Never mind. I'm sorry.
That's right. You better retract that message.
Genki Droid, thank you for the kind words about the podcast. That was a great. That was a lot of fun. And Stika and Roberto and Nuno were awesome guys to have on the cast, and they did most of the talking, and it was just really cool to hear about another success story about Saturn, you know, that it wasn't just Japan that it did well. It actually did well in, you know, Portugal, Brazil, you know, there were other markets where it was actually quite a success, you know, and it wasn't the story in the West where it was like a lot of us just didn't even hear about it, you know. It was like there was all they heard about. So yeah, it's really cool to see other people's perspectives on things. And somebody mentioned, and I don't remember who it was, they were saying, well, oh, I think it was Slow Boy was saying, oh, does this mean now you guys are going to do like a UK episode? And I think that would be kind of cool, you know.
We discussed that.
Yeah,
we discussed that before, that we wanted to get like people from the Dreamcast junkyard and some of the Saturn junkyard guy. I think only Simon's from the UK there, right?
Simon's in the UK. I mean, we have folks. I mean, we could probably get James from Mercia in our Discord server. We could probably get him to join us. There's a few. We get Slowboy on the cast. You know, we could get some folks in our Discord servers. You know, a lot of those UK boys, they love their Saturn, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Before SHIRO came around and started doing podcasts, it was like that's where I scratched that itch. Was on various like UK podcasts where they would do like a Saturn episode, and they would really talk about their memories of Saturn. And I was like, how come there's nothing like this in America? Like, is it really just that pathetic that nobody in America wants to talk about this? I guess it just turns out that we had to come out of the woodwork, you know, because there's just not that many of us.
Yeah, like even the Dreamcast stuff's all UK stuff. Like,
yeah, but man, they do a good job covering it. I mean, you know, I kind of makes me jealous. I'm not jealous of those UK cardboard boxes, though. Sorry, I've got a couple of them, and the fronts get all scratched up and everything like that. But yeah. Anyway, we ought to get this browser up.
Let's get it up.
Let's get the browser up.
That sounded not.
Talk about something. Yeah, just slow down there. Easy, boy. Okay, so.
I'm too excited. I'm sorry.
Yeah, James is in the chat saying he'd be interested in helping out, and he's got a nice radio voice, right? No, I mean, I was in a chat with him talking about all of his modding and console modding and stuff like that, and I actually think that would be awesome to have him, maybe Slow Boy, just round up a posse of UK blokes who can school us on Saturn in the UK. That would be a cool episode to do. And
then we get the German episode with Memphis and then Zeno.
You know what? You're not kidding. That would be awesome to do that as well. So lots of possibilities. I think we'll definitely we've got a lot on the horizon in terms of busyness, but that's definitely we'll put a pin in that and come back to it. So first up on news, do you want to cover Nick's video? You want to start us off?
I'm just joking. I'll cover it. So basically, our very own Pandemonium Nick Offerson, not Nick Offer.
Nick Offerson.
Offerson.
Panda Boy.
Panda Man, whatever panda
Pandemanium.
combination you want to add to it. Basically, he released a new video on Corpse Killer Graveyard Edition, which was, of course, the famous FMV style game by Digital Pictures. And yeah, the game was horrible, but the review was good.
The review was excellent. I mean, if you can even call it a review, I mean, like, that's the thing is, I feel like his channel has outgrown reviews. It's kind of like Food for Dogs. You know that gal, Food for Dogs? With the channel's called Food for Dogs, but I mean, she's talking about like Final Fantasy on the DS or on the 3DS, you know? And I feel the same way with Nick's videos. It's just like his videos have just gone to another level, you know? And I mean, and yeah, you know, there's still a review kind of, you know, thing to it, but I mean, it's just so much more than that. Did you happen to watch the whole thing?
I did. I watched it twice, I think.
Okay. So tell me, what do you think? What did you learn?
I thought it was good. I learned that I am glad I didn't run a studio in the 90s that spent millions and millions of dollars on those type of games only to go bankrupt.
No kidding.
I think some of those games are underrated though. Like Double Switch is a lot of fun. They did Operation Texas, or was it Ground Zero Texas? I think. Is that when they did? I can't remember.
They did Ground Zero. Yeah, Texas Ground Zero, or Ground Zero Texas. They did Fight, the boxing game. I think he featured. I think he featured a few of those in the documentary. Just like glanced on, but yeah.
Yeah, like was it Prize Fighter, the famous one that we almost got a Saturn release of it, but unfortunately the disc was destroyed. That was kind of a sadness in itself. And then of course the best one is Scottie Pippen's Slam City.
Oh right, yeah.
The best one that has my favorite one-liners of all time are insults. I think they had the best one, like that guy's got on anchor weights and like just insulting them, and like it's like what the heck is going on, like, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy that one, but I do have to say my favorite FMV game of all time has to be either Road Avenger or Road Avenger, Lupin the Third, Cliffhanger, take a Lupin the Third, and Time Gal are my favorite FMV games.
And those are more like your traditional, like, well, Time Gal, for example, is one of those like where, and even Road Avenger, I think, is where it's just like constant action and you're like pressing a button, kind of like the Dirk games. What is it? Dragon Slayer, right? You know, where it's like I guess those are kind of like the precursor to like the kind of slow plodding FMV game. I mean, it's an entire genre unto itself, and it's very much of its time. And you know, it makes sense. You know, he was saying millions of dollars were spent because they kept making a point. The actors kept making a point that there was almost no difference to shooting that than to shooting a feature film, right? So I imagine getting, you know, licenses for things, getting permits, getting the, you know, shooting on location, all that stuff, that costs a ton of money. And it's just like a lot of that stuff you could, you know, just do indoors, you know, in a little studio once, you know, the graphics got good enough. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy.
It's not the same effect though. I mean, the effort and work they put into it was fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
They shot in Puerto Rico, like they shot the set, like the mini sets. I think the funniest one is the guy who they had to hide the ladder from. Because like they made the mini sets like, oh yeah, can we hide your ladder and put this thing on it? Yeah,
that was clever. I like that. Clever solution to you know, unexpected problems. But yeah, it's weird because there's definitely like an old school way of doing things and then like a new school way. Like I definitely think FMV games could come back and be quite good, just if they would, you know, punch them up and use more modern techniques to make them. And you know, it's kind of like my boss, she does actually like commercials in Hollywood. Like she does a lot of famous commercials, like the Budweiser horse commercials and stuff like that. And a couple of years,
Budweiser horses.
Yeah, she did a couple of those, actually, not all of them, but she produced a couple of those. And
the 911 one,
Lexus commercials. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure like what her entire portfolio is, but I mean, like,
You should know by memory, Dave.
She's got kind of an old way of thinking of things where I'm like talking to her and showing her. I was showing her like this video that my friend did where there was like this overhead shot, and she's like, "How did they rent the helicopter for that?" And I'm like, "Leslie, everything these days is drones. Like you don't have to pay a bunch of money for a helicopter anymore." And that was like, well, that was a couple years ago, so I'm sure like she's with the whole drone thing now, but it's just like that's hard for some people to like. It's technology has gotten a lot better, let's just put it that way. So I think that they can produce these kind of games for cheaper nowadays than they could back then, because back then they were pretty much working under the same conditions as like film, with all the same limitations, but
it's kind of funny though when you think about that, because I know a lot of people are nostalgic for that sort of thing and want to go back. And I know that like the Foo Fighters, they did a bunch of albums where they did it all analog.
Oh yeah.
And like I get that question too, because I always had I want to do a funny thing where I record a podcast all analog, so like record it on tape, cue all the sound effects myself, like show style, and everyone's like asked me the same question: why would you want to do that? You can just do it easily with this. And I guess my answer to that is it's kind of like roughing it in the wild. You don't have to do that. It's like, why would you want to do it? But it's fun. It's like the experience, the challenge, I guess.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the big takeaways, and this is going to be a theme, I think, that it's going to go throughout Nick's videos, throughout his entire series, and it's one of the biggest takeaways from his series that I've kind of become aware of, is the fact that a lot of these studios, they're not trying to make a bad game. Like they're taking it seriously. They want to make a good game, and much of the time they believe they're making a good game, and it's all about context. A lot of the times when you get a game like Gen War, for example, it's just a matter of coming up against limitations or deadlines, or just not having access to the right tools at the right time, or not having access to the right documentation. But it's not like they set out to make a crappy game or just like cash in on a property. Sometimes that is the case, but I mean, a lot of the times it just seems like these studios have a really interesting story to tell, even if the game itself is not that great, and so Nick will sum it up by saying, I don't necessarily recommend you go play this game. I mean, but you should experience it in some way and just realize that these creators took a lot of time with this, and there's a lot of intent, there's a lot of purpose and intention there, so that's the cool thing. I think Corpse Killer is neat. It's a game I like, even though it is kind of just like walking to the right and shooting, I think that it's, got that B movie.
Yeah. And if you think about it, I mean, there wasn't really anything to base it off of. They're only doing the best they can with the knowledge they had.
Exactly.
I mean, there wasn't any knowledge like, oh yeah, by the way, there's going to be a future invention where you can like do these 3D models, or you can do pre-rendered like Donkey Kong Country and stuff like that. A lot of that didn't exist at the time. Yeah. When they're filming that, I mean, Donkey Kong Country was at 94, right?
It was Donkey Kong Country 94, yeah, or 95. Yeah, 94, right around that holiday probably time, but
yeah, and a lot of those were filmed like before that, or before it was really known how they did it. And the same thing, actually, Mortal Kombat was like the realest, and that was 92, I think. So 92. Maybe I might be wrong on that, but I guess the point is that really they didn't really have the idea of how to do these things and what is the way to make it realistic. There wasn't any like ray tracing ability or anything of that nature. There was,
right. The unforgivable. The unforgivable things are like not putting in mouse support or gun support, right? Now that's where you really can ding them, and you can say, okay, the self-awareness, that whether or not the game is good, subjectively based on whether you like cheesy FMV games or not, doesn't matter. But like, bottom line, creature comfort, things that existed in previous games ought to exist in like an enhanced edition, right? So it should have had gun support. And I mean, there's no amount of excuses. I mean, I get like they could make excuses and say, okay, well, we just didn't have the time, or they should have. If they spent $8 million shooting the darn thing, they could have coded in support somehow. They could have made it work, and I think it would have been worth their while, because it probably would have aged better, overall, and might have even sold better. And the same thing goes for racing games that are like 20 frames per second. I think we can all agree, like, racing games need to be at least 30 frames per second for you to be able to see where, see corners as they're coming up on you. Which is why, as much as I love, the black sheep, Sega touring car, I often admit that it's just like, okay, it has an unforgivable frame rate for a racing game. So I don't hold it against people to hate it,
Yeah, no, for real. And I think the hardest thing with some of the games, like you mentioned with the mouse support and the gun support, is a lot of that maybe had to do with the fact that, I mean, we talked about it before, both on the Pandemonium and on our podcast, that a lot of developers didn't have these technologies to work with at the time. They were just giving it. Like, they were just like, oh, hey, here's this. We can't give you samples or anything. And then it's like, last second they give it to them. It's like, well, Nick mentioned that it might have been pushed out for a holiday release as well. So, I mean...
Well, that's the thing too.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is if their little sin, I guess, is insisting on releasing it in November. So if their hands were tied with the mouse support thing, I think that they should have held out, released it later, and had it be a better game. But no, they decided, we're just, the money, is important, and we're gonna try to sell it in November for the holidays. I mean, but you always have to ask, like, was it worth it? Did it pan out the way that you wanted it to? I mean, if it had
producers don't have options for that,
Yeah. I mean,
sometimes the producers, like, looking down the neck, it's like, game's got to go out, guys.
That's 22. Yeah, game's got to go out. Is it ready? No. Okay, well, let's just put it out. And it's funny that there are much lesser games. There are games that are much worse than this that do have that either do have mouse support or gun support. So it's just, anyway, it was an excellent video. Yeah, I've watched it twice.
Doesn't Crypt Killer have gun support?
Crypt Killer, I think, does. Yeah. The Henry Explorers game.
Doesn't make that game any better.
Yeah, I know, right? So
the game sucks. My bad. I'm dropping F-bombs on here. My bad, guys.
But yeah, so go check out, if you guys haven't subscribed to, I can't imagine you haven't, but if you haven't subscribed to Nick's channel yet, Pandemonium reviews every Saturn game, go subscribe now, give him a like and subscribe to his videos. Awesome content, and he puts so much time and effort into it. You guys gotta go check it out. I cannot wait there are a few games that I just cannot wait to see what he does. So, and Nick has not subscribed to his own channel. And personally, I think that's like a president not voting for himself. So
it's an honor. You're not supposed to do that, even though I did that for my own channel with SHIRO.
Yes.
I totally did not booster up my own personal channel with all my other accounts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, next up, we have merch. We had merch, and then we didn't. So we used to have merch. And it had Sega's name on it. It was very much like we were stealing Sega's fonts, and their, IPs. and we just decided that it's like, with this rebranding, we really just want to kind of break away. Like, we definitely want people to know that we're all about Saturn, and we have, fair use of the kind of Saturn part of the Saturn logo in the font and everything like that. But I mean, for the most part, we're trying to break away and just make this something that, we can wholeheartedly endorse and sell to folks without feeling guilty, like we're stealing Sega's stuff. So
I don't feel guilty. I'm just joking.
I know you're the guy who wanted to come to Jared's house and steal like 12 copies of Magic Knight Rayearth, right?
Listen, he won't miss like 7 copies of it, all right?
That's true. He probably won't even know they're gone.
But anyways, besides breaking into people's houses and stealing their things, let's go on with the merch.
Well, yeah, so we got merch. We've got shirts, and if I click this link, hopefully it works. You can see we've got all kinds of shirts.
We even got new shirts that you didn't put on there.
We got new shirts that I didn't put on there. Well, I keep making new designs, I actually bought this one. I'll show you. I bought this. It's the Saturn. I believe it's the condensed like Model 2 PCB with the SHIRO logo there, and it's like,
nice.
I made this almost for myself. There was an Edge magazine that came out in the UK that had this. It was like issue number 2 or something like that, and it had the Saturn motherboard right on the front. And I'm just like so nostalgic for that. And then like I got I picked up this one, and then I also picked up the one that Derek picked up, which is I call this our booth shirt, like working at a trade show or something. It's very professional. It's like a business card. So
I don't look professional though, so I don't think I look good in it.
say what now?
I don't look professional, so I don't think I'd look good in it.
No, Pat likes the pink, right? Were you all about the pink?
No, I like the CRT. I like the CRT. And
Oh, do you like the SHIRO show one? Yeah. So and I mean, these are like, you can get these in like multiple colors. So if you don't like what you're seeing, feel free to come down here. You can try different fabrics, different colors, and stuff like that. Anything you spend on our shop is going to help us. We have a 20% markup. Okay, so in full disclosure, it's 20% is going to help us host the podcast, which is on Podient.
Exactly.
It's not cheap. It's like $12.99 a month, and it goes on and on and on. And then there are other expenses that we're also going to incur, moving on the big, the more stuff we try to do for you guys. So, I mean, for sure, like every little bit helps for sure. And I think we're going to be also opening up a Patreon soon. Pat's kind of working on that. But yeah, so we just wanted to have a way for you guys to be able to support SHIRO, and then also be able to support, support us, the brand, and support Saturn stuff, but then also support what we're doing and as a community. So I like this one. That's the one I call Chokehold. And it's
Chokehold.
Yeah, the old
Let's
says
help the actors and see that.
Say what?
Let's hope the actors and see that. If you're like, stop using my likeness.
I mean, it is a likeness, but I might get away with it under fair use just because it's so blurry. It's kind of like a posterization. And if we get told to take it down, whatever, I'll take it down. But I hope some folks can snag it before anything like that happens. I still think that it falls under fair use for sure.
Yeah, it definitely said it enough. I think you should be okay.
Yeah, but we'll see.
We'll get that. We'll get the C and D's.
Yeah, for sure. Like Memphis is saying, it could be problematic to wear this at your work. I was like, they asked me on Threadless. They're like, is this design mature? Or is this design safe for kids? And I was like, I don't know. He is choking a kid technically, forcing him to play.
Oh, sorry. For a second, I thought this guy they threw into the Bomberman one and just blew up.
No, this is the first. Actually, that's this image right here comes from the very first SEGA commercial, which was like a Sonic R, and it was like the kids coming home from baseball practice, and they bump into Segata, and he just like lays them out on the floor.
My favorite commercial.
This one right here is basically like the Saturn disc lid, with like putting a disc in it. And then the logo, and you got the little see-through window there, so that's what that is. So anyway, nice. If you guys feel like buying some SHIRO merch, it certainly would help us out, and also we would love to see you guys share pics if you end up taking any selfies with SHIRO merch. That'd be great. So yeah, we also have hoodies. We've got bags, tote bags.
We will retweet you for that. If you do take a photo of yourself, let us know, or we tweet it. We'll put it on the show. We'll show it off.
Oh, and there's also free shipping right now. I didn't do that, actually. Threadless is having a thing right now where if you spend like $45, which I think is like two or three shirts, you'd be able to do that. If you spend $45 within the US, it's free shipping, and I think it's $80 internationally. Which I realize is still kind of a lot, but anyway, they're
Memphis says there's free international shipping.
Yeah, free international shipping if you spend like $80. So you still have to spend like close. Spend $80, but we are getting some of that, so we really do appreciate it, because you're not just buying shirts, you're helping host the SHIRO podcast. Exactly. We got masks, but honestly, these might even the mandate the CDC just took down the mask mandate, right? So
hey, you know what? Listen, if you're feeling sick and you're not feeling well, throw on a SHIRO mask, and show people that you're conscious of your disease. Actually, it's kind of funny because like I actually since I've been wearing the mask all last year, I usually get sick twice a year. I didn't get sick at all.
Is that right?
I'm dumb. I got sick this year so far. I got sick last year because of the COVID, obviously, but since then I only was sick really that was the last time I was sick, when I had COVID.
Yeah.
So like,
pick up one of these masks and prepare for the fourth wave. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. It's
And
like
then
the
we've
fourth
also
wall, except more deadly.
got mugs for folks who like mugs. And this is the one I like, the black, right there. So I haven't gotten a mug yet, but I'm a big coffee drinker, so I will. There's only so many things I can throw my money at. Anyway, so yeah, SHIRO merch.
Like I do.
Next up, I forgot that we put up a post about the podcast, the Portucast.
I
So
should let you know that.
I knew you did, but at the beginning I was talking about it, and I guess now we can go into it in more detail, even though we kind of did already. Go ahead, Pat. Say something about the Portucast. You edited it.
It was a podcast.
Yeah.
No, basically, I don't know whose idea it was, but we basically thought it'd be kind of cool to hear perspectives from different countries. I think we always wanted to do that with the UK, and I guess things lined up perfectly for Portugal. So we brought on the 3 biggest Portugal fans of the Saturn, who is, of course, Roberto from the SEGA Saturn Collectors and Gamers and the Saturn Junkyard. We have Nuno from, of course, Saturn Junkyard and the videos he's done. Nebuchadnezzar is Sam likes to refer to him as Nebuchadnezzar. So
Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah, and then of course there is Stika, probably the biggest one of the biggest Saturn creators in the scene right now, alongside like Sega Lord X and of course Nuno in the scene. So,
albeit I think he's more of a Mega Drive fan, right? Based on his channel, I think he's like a huge
we always have bad choices that we make, I mean.
No, that's a great choice. I love me some Mega Drive. But yeah, you said Stika. You said Stika this time. Good job. Because during the cast you were saying Stika. Hey, Stika. Like he's but yeah, no. Hail God Emperor Stika. That's what Shadow Mask says in the. By the way, I have a question for Shadow Mask. If your name is Shadow Mask, how come you have an aperture grill on your little icon?
Ooh, called out.
Called out.
Right, called out. Get that aperture grill garbage out of my face and get a JVC broadcast monitor and get that Shadow Mask going.
I've just wondered about that. I was like, I like his little pick there, but his name is Shadow Mask, and my brain is doing like this conflict thing where I'm just like, wait a second, that's an aperture grill. Anyway.
I actually do like the look of my JVC BM over my some of my PVMs. Like
for Dreamcast or something, or just like in general?
Just in general, I think I like the Shadow Mask look a little bit better. I think Aperture Grill looks a bit too clean for me, if that makes sense.
No, that's exactly what it is. It's so sharp. I mean, if you have any kind of nostalgia for like the softer looking image, wow, we're like way off topic here, but thanks, Shadow Mask. If you have any kind of nostalgia for that like softer looking CRT image, I mean, the Shadow Mask is all about it. Whereas, like much of what we've come to love or hate about scanlines, thick scanlines, comes from the whole, aperture grill thing, so, and I mean, even then it's like exaggerated. Emulators just exaggerate it.
It's BVM or nothing.
Right. Well, and then if you do get one of those like huge BVMs with like 1,000 TV lines, and you run a 240p game, then you are getting like really thick scan lines, or yeah. I don't even know if scan line is the correct word anymore. If you really want to get technical, you want to be that. Well, actually.
Yeah, Phone Dork is right by me. I kind of want to hang out with him one of these days and just take in all of the thick scanline juiciness of all his CRTs. We'll have to sync up sometime because he's got a lot of great stuff, and I love his content.
You're so inappropriate, Pat. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, he is in Arizona though, isn't he? You've actually got quite a few opportunities to hook up with, people in the retro gaming community. I was just watching, Keith Huntington. He does like the Sega CD stuff. And he's in the groups, he's in Arizona, I believe, Tulsa.
The guys that doing the game was the game. It was like the Antique Roadshow thing that they're doing with the game hunting stuff for the arcades.
Yeah.
They're in Arizona.
Oh, yeah, I know the guys you're talking about, but also Genovi is in Arizona, is he not?
Do you want us to let people know that?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that was private.
Well, that's out of the bag.
Yeah, well, out of that. Well,
now,
honestly,
yeah,
I didn't think that was private information. I thought that was pretty.
I didn't know if you want people to know, but
Oh.
yeah, I guess he's Arizona gamer now. Of course, John Lester, John
Yeah.
Lester of the Gamester 89 is in Arizona. Or, wait, is it 89 or 86? I can't remember. But he's in Arizona. There's a lot of really great Arizona retro game, and Metal Jesus actually did a video on Arizona game hunting too.
Yeah.
And I've been to all those stores except the one.
You guys need to get together and create like a guild or something. You create like a new retro gaming convention or something like that. I bet you
already
could.
have one. Game On Expo.
All right. Well, yeah, I need to get out there. I need a good excuse to come see you anyway. So you set it up, and then I'll have an excuse. I'm actually driving. I'm actually pretty good driving distance from Arizona. That didn't come out right. Yeah, it's not that bad though. I mean, I'm used to 10-hour drives to Reno, which is where my parents live. So,
yeah.
And that
it sounded vaguely threatening. It sounds like I'm gonna come over there and beat the hell out of you, Patrick.
No. I might actually bring you a CRT, but then again, you don't need it anymore because you already picked up.
I don't know, man. I cannot have enough CRTs. I have a new house, and
Hey, Shadow Mask. So yeah, no, I agree. Shadow Mask sounds better than Aperture Grill, but I really do think that right now, while you're working on Death Mask, you ought to rename yourself Death Shadow Mask, like Death, XX, Death, parentheses Shadow Mask XX. Make it all straight edge.
No, Dave and I have never met in real life.
We've never met in real life, but we've been friends since 2017.
17.
Yeah.
Was it 16 or 17?
It was maybe 16, like the end of the year, and then So and
yeah.
Kay, Murder of Crows as well. Like I was posting up in the groups and saying, I'm very opinionated, and so we just got to like having an argument or whatever over something, and then before you know it, we're friends.
Same thing happened to me. We were talking about I was talking about the Framemeister and the difference between the cheap scalers.
Yeah.
And even though looking back, he technically was right in the conversation. I do find it funny that both of us, it was an argument, but it ended up good. Like, it's all good discussion.
Yeah, because we're all kind of into the same stuff. We just have like slightly differing opinions on things, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, except me being better than you, Dave. That's an opinion. That's the correct one. No, I'm just joking.
No, you are SHIRO Zero though. Zero the hero. SHIRO.
Zero the zero. No. But anyways, anything left that we want to talk about the podcast before we move on?
Shouts to Stika, Roberto, Nuno Nebuchadnezzar. Go check out their content. Go check out Stika's channel. Go check out the Saturn Junkyard channel. If you watch any videos there, 90% chance you're going to be watching Nuno's videos. And he does a really good job with the Saturn emulation stuff. That's kind of his wheelhouse. And then Roberto, he's just a really cool guy. He's an admin over at the Junkyard and also the Saturn Gamers and Collectors group. And he's very approachable, loves the Saturn. I mean, that's basically, he's diehard Saturn fan, and he has a huge collection. So just nice people.
Nice too.
Yeah, absolutely. He's super into cars. So if you're a motorhead, you guys will get along. Next up, and moving along because we don't have that much. How much time do we have actually? Okay, we do have a game to stream, folks. So yeah, Pat and I got carried away. Rayman.
We got about a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So Rayman, Best of Saturn. What do you think? What do you think about Rayman as a Saturn game?
I think it was my favorite Dustin Hoffman movie.
Nice.
But,
Very nice timing.
Yeah. But yeah, I really liked Rayman. The first Rayman game I played actually wasn't the original. It was the Rayman 3D on the PlayStation. I believe it was that one. Yeah, that was the first one I played. I really enjoyed it. I actually never really played through the entirety of Rayman 2D, sadly, but I kind of want to go back and beat it. And it's kind of funny that they've actually gone back to that style with the I guess recent in quotations.
Like
Rayman
10 years old already. But
Rayman Origins. They went back to the style. But,
yeah. Well, I mean, same thing with same thing in large part with like the Sonic games, with the you know, incorporating a lot of 2D gameplay into even the 3D Sonic games, you know, because it's just platforming in 2D is just something else, you know. It's just hard to really replicate in 3D. And I mean, 3D platforming always feels more like fetch quests, whereas like I like the speed and the rhythm of platforming in 2D. But yeah, I mean, Rayman is definitely one of the best platformers for the Saturn. I would want to know what folks in the comments think about Rayman versus, like, say, a Stall. You know, you guys think it's better than a Stall? Do you guys think it's better than Gex? I mean, we're talking third-party If we're talking third-party developers, you got Ubisoft. Basically, Rayman was the game that made Ubisoft, and then you've got Crystal Dynamics with Gex, which was also a multi-platform. So I guess those would be the best two games to compare against each other, since they're both third-party multi-platform games. I might want to do another one of those like versus series where we take Gex versus Rayman. I think Rayman's probably going to win, just because it's like one of those. It seems like the correct answer. I might vote for Gex though, because I like Dana Gould. I like the wisecracks. You know, and I like the hub world where, you know, you collect the remotes and stuff like that. That's just me though. I mean, I think most people will probably say Rayman, and that'll be the correct answer.
Yeah, because I played both Rayman and Stall, and I actually prefer the platforming on Rayman.
Yeah.
And it's like character design better. I like the art style is beautiful, as you can see.
Yeah, well, a Stall has great art too. I would say in artwork they're pretty much evenly matched, but you know, Rayman does have verticality to it, and a Stall you don't really get that. You pretty much are just walking left to right and beating things up and dispatching bosses and stuff like that. And you do have your bird, you know, so that's cool. It's interesting though to think, you know, which folks favor. But I mean, you know, Rayman is classic and it's lasted this long, so you know it has to be good.
Yeah, well, I mean relatively. I mean, if you count the spin-off the Rabbids, I mean, they just announced the new new one at E3, which I also need to make an article on E3, but I don't think we'll have time to go over those games.
Yeah, we need to write some articles this next week because we're kind of behind on some stuff.
Yeah, but someone mentioned Pandemonium, and I think I have to agree. I think that's probably the second best thing I know that's named Pandemonium, in my opinion. But yeah. I think that one's also a really good game. You can also add the Japanese version of that, which
Magical Hoppers.
Magical Hoppers. I think a lot of people prefer that one, but it's kind of funny because a lot of people think that one came out. That Pandemonium was a horrible reskin of that, but it's actually the opposite, which I thought was kind of funny that you pointed out to me. It's like, whoa, really?
Yeah, you know, they had to have it be. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the exact opposite of what we do for our market, taking their overly anime stuff and kind of like westernizing it so that it's palatable, quote unquote palatable, because of course, like, there's a bunch of weebs, we would just love the anime stuff, but you know, they think that's what we want. You know, in the 90s, arguably they're right, with the grunge era, everything had to be like edgy and very much Twin Peaks. Everything had, you know, tongue-in-cheek humor, that kind of thing, in the West, whereas like in Japan, just a lot of like innocent, or just like, you know, the shonen stuff was just like, it's just popular. It's not like uncool. It's just what they have, you know. And so it's like with our stuff that's like overly edgy, they're like, yeah, we need to like kind of you need to like make it a little anime so that people will want to buy it, you know. Otherwise there would be just no market for it over there. But Derek says, you're not an Elite Saturn fan if you're not listening to this on mobile while driving like me.
That's fair enough.
I'm not going to argue with that.
I think it's only elite if you're not wearing pants and you're sitting in your bathroom watching it. I think that's more elite, but I'll take that as a second elite level.
I'll just give him elite. I'll just give him elite status right now.
Elite man.
So street. Yeah. And Peter says,
nice to point out, why is he typing?
Why is he typing while driving? You know, leave it to Night of Dragon to like call folks out on stuff like that. And honestly, he's not wrong. Like, why are you typing? Okay, so maybe it's like voice to text. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
All right, next up, and we really got to fly. SSF goes open source after 15 years. Finally, Shima. Like, okay, and I mean, it's like at this point, this can't not happen and not look like somewhat desperate, because it's like in recent years, these other emulators have been overtaking SSF, you know? Not only are they multiple...
Yabuse, right?
Sorry?
I think the biggest one is probably Yabuse. Or Yabuse, how do you pronounce it?
Yabuse, or Yabasanshiro, the variations. Well, you've got you got the Yaba emulator, you've got Mednafen or Mednafen, however you want to say that. You've got Loud Garbage Truck in the background. I hope that doesn't bleed through. You've got okay, so you got BizHawk, right? You got Kronos. You've got all the old crappy Saturn emulators that nobody cares about, but they exist. You've got some kind of Saturn emulation on MAME, right? Is there? And there's RetroArch. So I mean, there's like so many different options, and all open source, or most of them open source. And so, you know, as a result, you've got them on multiple platforms too. So it's like anybody who's a Mac user, Android, iOS, they haven't even been looking at SSF over the years. It's only really been an option for Windows users, and it has been a good option for testing compatibility wise. You know, if you come down here, you can see that the compatibility is pretty high when it comes to each chip. But I mean, it could always be better, right? And it could always be better. It can always be better. And now that it's open source, hopefully it will, because, you know, folks will hopefully take it and run with it if it isn't too late. You know, if folks aren't just like, yeah, you know, maybe 5 years ago I would have, but now I'm like fully entrenched in like these other projects or whatever. So we'll see if folks take this thing multi-platform, and if they're able, or if they maybe will just like rob it and just like take some of the things that it's doing and use them for other projects, which is also possible as well. So
I really hope it's used towards the FPGA implementation of the Saturn. I think that'd be very useful for it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you know, one thing I noticed where it's lacking the most is in the CD block, which is only 85%. And I was curious, Professor Abrasive, he donated a lot of the information that he gleaned through, you know, working on Satiator to help emulation projects, right? I think the Yaba branch, or Yaba Sanshiro. So I wonder if those ones have a higher level of CD block accuracy than this one, just because privy to different information. Potentially.
Yeah, no, it's interesting though. I'm kind of interested to see where the information goes, and I'm glad it's been made open source so that people could analyze it and maybe make changes to it to make it better. And you know, you never know, it might be the biggest one if it plays its cards right, or there's a fork to it.
Truth is, it needed this in order to live, though. Definitely, like it was almost a make or break time. I can only imagine. You know, he's one guy. He's been doing this for 15 plus years. It was really like 2006 when it was able to like play games with play commercial games with compatibility, but he was working on it before then. And it's like he's been doing all the updates himself, but he hasn't updated it in the last 3 years. So it's like he kind of needed to do this if he wanted this thing to have legs and keep going. Otherwise it would just be relegated to like the Jiris and the Saturno, or what was that other one, Cassini? There's been so many Saturn emulators over the years that just kind of fizzled out. You know, I didn't want
to.
Yep. Respect. And then I guess to round things out, I just wanted to let folks know that like I said, I hadn't been able to write a proper article about this, but man, XL2 has been making strides with Hell Slave, of course, just getting everything working smoother. He's released some videos on his YouTube channel you guys should go check out, with showing the lighting effects for the capture the flag. He's got the towers, he's using the infinite plane to draw like the planet Earth, and you're floating over in outer space, floating on these platforms, and on satellites or whatever, and it's just really really sick. And then the deathmatch mode, just not just the lighting going on and everything, but just like the absolute chaos and mayhem going on, and how fluid it runs. I swear, it runs so great. Have you seen it, Pat?
A little bit. Didn't he mention he has bots implemented too in some aspect?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a number of things he has going on, but the bots, yeah, is one of them, and some kind of AI. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure how he's doing his AI, but I mean, it works. Like he demonstrated several rounds where he took out quite a few bots, and then also he got his ass handed to him quite a few times. So it's like, it looks like promising for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it and see what progress he's made, and hopefully we'll be able to get that demos going soon for that and explore the magical changes he's made to the game.
The promise is an 8-player deathmatch, right? I believe that's what he said. 8-player deathmatch. That's 2 multi-taps.
Jeez.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
He's gonna need a microscope to be able to see all the players on that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like how. Well, actually, if he implements the link, the Tyson link, then I think that's how he's gonna do it. It's 4 on each side. It would be 4 on each side then, with the Tyson cable. And I think Emerald was talking about some link cable functionality as well with their game, but folks, correct me if I'm wrong. I see so many things mentioned in these Discord servers that it's hard sometimes to keep heads or tails, make heads or tails of them. But anyway, it's very exciting, and it's just
Sorry. Just a quick note to comment on what you said. I haven't been trying to advertise this too much outside the community.
Okay.
Because it's very much a work in progress, and
sure.
We're dependent on Waterfuel for figuring out the netcode, or at least the basics of netcode, to actually get the modem to talk.
Right.
But the idea with the Tizen cable is a high bandwidth modem, like an order of magnitude more bandwidth than we'd get with the Netlink. And
I gotcha.
If that gets figured out, then presumably XL2 and I would be able to add online functionality. But that's not a certainty.
It's like a concept right now, but I mean, the fact that you guys are even thinking along those lines is still exciting. And yes, very much like that's. I probably shouldn't have said anything, but still, I think it's exciting that you guys are even discussing that kind of stuff. That's awesome.
There's been lots of arguments regarding whether or not we should even try for the. Yeah. But we can talk about it more during the gameplay segment. I just wanted to comment on that since you brought it up.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for always. I always appreciate folks providing clarity and clarification to things. Because I want to make sure that we report things accurately for sure. So, but thank you, Emerald. Appreciate it.
And that's why we got this chat open, so we can have people like Emerald and Night of Dragon comment on us when we make mistakes or when they want to tell something really cool.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna grab. Go ahead and wrap us out, Pat, and I'm gonna go ahead and boot up Bulk Slash here.
All right, thank you guys for watching. If you like what we're doing, feel free to subscribe and ring the bell. If you're on listening to the audio portion, of course, go subscribe to wherever you're listening to it on, iTunes, Stitcher, Podient, and follow us and stuff. And check out our Discord where we discuss the games with fans. We're always active talking with people. I think I covered it all. Yeah,
buy some merch. Buy a shirt.
Merch, yeah. Buy some shirts and get some cool shirts because you'll help us out and you'll help yourself out because you look sharp, and it's scientifically proven that if you wear a SHIRO shirt, you are gonna add 10% to your sexiness scale. I didn't make up the rules. That's the stats that are on the shirt that we got. So I that's a guarantee. That's a SHIRO promise.
That's threadless.segasaturnshiro.com, or you can just go to Threadless and look up Sega Saturn SHIRO. You'll find it. SHIRO merch. The link is also on our website.
Yeah.
In the most recent posts. Yeah. So.
Yep. So that's with
awesome.
That said. Thank you for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Later.
I'm just gonna shoot.
All right. So do we got some burnt ends in the chat? We got some We got some Dan and we got Danthrax.
The whole gang.
The whole gang is here? Good. Okay, good. Because I can't see who's in there. I'm not looking at it.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Yeah, we got Greg and Mompus and Burnt Ends
nice.
and me all in here.
Awesome. Excellent.
Lacquerware.
Oh dear. Sorry, my alarm is going off.
Guys.
It's currently 3 p.m.
That's my reminder to close the garage skylight. I don't know if you guys could hear that. All right, let me just.
I barely heard it. It probably was clear on the stream though. I didn't hear it.
All right, cool.
So, I just wanted to, like, I don't know if I can give an addendum to that NetLink stuff, or if anyone's interested. Yeah. So, the reason there's a little bit of an argument going on, I guess, because what Trekkies is arguing, and he has a very good argument for, is that people already have NetLink. NetLink is officially supported. However, NetLink can, at best, be counted on to do 14,000 bits per second. So the American NetLink is rated for double that, but the Japanese one is probably the one that most people would be able to get their hands on for under $80, and that's 14,400. So 1,400 bits per second.
And I mean, okay, so in all honesty, that even the American one, it's preferred to lock it to the 14 because that's what the X-Band games were specifically coded to work best on. They actually don't do very.
My understanding too, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it works great. It works great for most of the games that were coded for it. But I mean, definitely like there's a reason why we didn't have an online death match. There was like even Duke Nukem is kind of spotty when you're doing like the co-op stuff. So definitely, yeah. I mean,
you're only keeping track of 2 people and then shared monsters.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So the argument basically boils down to, hey, here's what the current install base is. Just learn how to work with it. Use modern netcode techniques and try to compress data and do it intelligently as much as possible. That's more or less Trekkie's argument, and he's not wrong in that. Asking people to buy the Tizen cable is a big ask for an already small install base.
Why not make one?
Or make one.
Yeah. So either make one, or I think Waterfuel said it cost him somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 to manufacture one. So I suggested to him, hey, if we can market this for like a $30 thing, as long as you can push them out, maybe we can get an install base going. So the jump up is from 14,000 kilobits per second, 14 kilobits per second to 200 kilobits per second on the Tizen.
A big difference.
Yeah, it's massive. And my plan was to, right now we're working on a board game collection, just like a mini game sim, like, chess, Battleship, stuff like that, to push out real quick as soon as we have online libraries to work with. And just like a little Python-based server just to figure out the basics in netcode. But my end goal was to get Forsaken Plain as an MMO. But it's an action-based MMO. If you actually played it, you know that the controls are based on like real-time input.
Yeah.
There's no possible way for me conceivably to figure out how to do that on 14 kilobits per second. Trekkie says there should be a way, considering what Quake and PSO used to do. But I don't have that level of skill or experience to do that. But with 200, I could probably get like an actual lobby going. Compared to like Dragon Song, you saw how slow Dragon Song played in practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Even and I mean, I completely hear you. I mean, I definitely think that it might be the easy way to go for some games that are more like just turn-based. That kind of thing works perfect. I mean, stuff like Shadows of the Tusk is perfect for like an online experience. Even Bomberman has some issues. Case in point, just recently, Retrospectors, the YouTube channel, they did a 3-player Bomberman online match where they had Sega RPG fan on one side, Joe on one side, and then on the other side you had the Retrospectors guy, him and his friend. And they were using the keyboard on the multi-tap, and that all worked great. But even when they got into Bomberman, 3 players, and then a 4th CPU player, there was considerable lag, and that was even with like the latest patched version. So then they were getting into like okay, we've got to change our jitter settings and stuff like that. And it's like if it's at that point where you can't play Bomberman with 4 people without having lag and having to mess with your jitter settings, I can definitely see the argument for, you know, needing that kind of overhead to be able to do something like you know, a death match or a capture the flag. It just wouldn't work, you know. And I mean, it's why we didn't see games like that. Racing games, you can do a lot, sending data back and forth and kind of interpolating, I guess, the movements between input signal or something like that. But it's a different thing when you need like that precise input.
Yeah, definitely. For FPS, like if XL2 was to go in the direction of online, I'm not saying he is. I just know that he's been listening in on the conversations we've been having in the Netlink discourse. I can't conceive of a way for him to do that using 14 kilobits per second, because even me, for Forsaken Plane, I've managed to compress information down to like 4 or 5 bytes per character. But you only have 30 bytes per frame if you're doing full frame rate. So at best, 90 bytes per frame.
Yeah.
If you have a whole room full of monsters, that you've already consumed all of your bandwidth, and that's putting maximum load on a 20-year-old modem.
I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you, but somebody just said that there's like an echo. Can folks hear our voice okay?
No, I think it's Thomas trying to listen to both at the same time.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, we should definitely get on. This is an excellent conversation. We should definitely pick this up at a later time. But we should get on with this stream of Bulk Slash so that I can show folks this new character. We got a dub for Rupia. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you know, obviously we should talk about the emulation side of things too, because of course the sky's the limit in terms of if you're coding a game for Saturn that could just run on like online via an emulator and stuff like that. But anyway, we'll pick that conversation back up at another time. Do I have does somebody want to get in here from the Bulk Slash team and just kind of give us an introduction of what we have here with Rupia?
Sure, I'll do it. This is Greg, also known as Lacquerware.
Hey, Greg.
Hey guys. So Rupia Rude, she's the one with the tood. She's a master thief you pick up in stage 5. And she's the rude one. What else is there to say about her? She's voiced by one of from Planet Rot. Yes, all the planets are named for colors in German.
Oh, okay.
Planet Rot. Yeah.
Rot. Which is red, right?
Memphis?
Yeah, it's a red.
Nice.
So Rupia is voiced by my friend Diana Alaco. She couldn't be here today. She told me to tell you what she's doing. She's a nurse and she's teaching resident physicians how to place IVs all day. She really wanted to come, but she was great to work with. Obviously, you know, one of my best friends, so it was a lot of fun for me. But we weren't really sure what direction to go with Rupia, but you'll see in a minute. In fact, I guess I won't spoil it, but
sure.
She kind of put her own unique twist on it that I think served the character really well.
Yeah, you know what? We could definitely have her come back on, though, the next time we do an update stream or something, or even when we do that, like, huge collaborative stream where we have all of the actors. If we're able to get that happening, that would be awesome. You know, just have them all in there and just let them do the talking.
Absolutely, yeah. She was bummed that she couldn't make it, and it's kind of our fault for springing this on you last minute, which is really my fault because I'm going to be out for the next couple weeks. So yeah, if there's another opportunity, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. There will be.
Yeah, I got the message in Discord. It's like, wait, aren't we about to stream? It's like, do we have time to patch all this?
I patched it early this morning, and then I went to work, and I was like, okay, it's good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and crank this up so that she can do some talking. But yeah, so we'll start with stage 1 and just go from there.
Planet Grun.
Unless you guys want me to back out and do a different stage, because I see they're all unlocked. Oh no, they're not. No, they're not. Okay, I'll start with stage 1 then. That's fine.
Yeah. So Mampus, wie sagst du Planet auf Deutsch?
Planet.
Planet. Danke.
Planet Grun.
Let's get.
Yeah, I forgot how to say planet in German. I didn't know it was planet because we never talked about that in German. I guess we never got brought up.
Wow. Phasey your blaster.
But yeah.
Yeah, the Germans weren't in space, so that's shame of.
Target's close by. More to the
Ooh, I
right.
like the voice acting.
Yeah, she's got the kind of country.
Yep, kind of a southern accent.
I like it.
Which
Yeah.
Anna is from the South originally. She grew up there, right, Craig?
Well, we're both from Northern Virginia, where it's sort of the border between North and Southern culture. But she spent some time in Georgia. She lived in Georgia for a while, so I think she's also just good at picking up accents. So I think, it certainly sounded authentic to me. But yeah, we toyed around with a few different ideas for just voices in general for this character. She actually auditioned for 3 different characters, and we played around with accents a lot for all of them. And this was just the one that felt like it really clicked. I was like, this is what was missing from the character. Yeah, it just kind of like adds to that like sassy factor.
I love it. Let me know if it's too loud. I want people to be able to hear the volume or hear her voice, but again, I don't want it to drown out, what we're saying. So let me know.
It sounds pretty good to me.
All right, cool.
It's behind us. Bingo, you nailed it. That leaves 3 of them. Shield recovered.
I
More to
like the
left.
thing. It's
More to the
behind
left.
us. That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah,
You
she's
guys-
a little more informal.
You guys did such a
Yeah.
fantastic job with this, I have to say.
Well, that was one of those lines where it really paid off to try different readings, because that was just sort of a discovery in the moment. It's like, yeah, what if she said it like, "Hey, idiot, you went past it," because some of the readings were more neutral, like just "it's behind us," but that one it just felt like it felt like the character would be like, "It's behind us."
Target's close by.
What are you
Keep going
doing?
straight.
Yeah.
Hey, idiot! It's behind us. But yeah, Phase is asking, is there a link to the book/English download? And sadly, there's none yet. It's still a work in progress, so I think they want to make sure it's. I mean, I won't speak for you guys. I mean, you guys have to give your reasons for that. But I think my understanding was that it wasn't. They just want to. You guys want to make sure everything's going and can get everything 100% before
Hey, Paul.
releasing some patches for this.
Yeah, we kind of want to have the whole thing ready to go, rather than just releasing it piecemeal, even though we're showing it off piecemeal. Yeah, we just we our pace has been really good though. Like how long has it been now, Dan? Like 3 months?
That leaves
Yeah, like 3.5 months.
3.5. So we are hoping to have the whole thing ready by the end of summer. So yeah, you won't have to wait too long.
close by.
It'll be out
we
before
just-
Metroid, I think.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we just don't want incomplete
Something's coming, and it
builds
ain't
of the
no small
game,
fry.
incomplete translations to be floating around the internet. So then when somebody decide like here's about Bulk Slash being in English and they decide to go find it from wherever, and they find one where it's half done, and then they think either we did a janky job or they got the wrong thing and they don't know where to find the right thing. So we'd rather like the version that's circulating in the public be the one that is complete.
Going straight.
You know what's
Right.
really worse though is that once they start doing repro, if people do repros, which they probably will do, it's like you have a bunch of versions. eBay, it's like, okay, which one is this? Is this the one
Going straight.
with
Yeah, that's true too.
English 3? Is it one Navi? Is it not? So it's like And then you get a lot of complaints and people say, "Oh, why didn't you guys ever finish this?" Like, we did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. To the extent that you can control distribution of an unofficial hack, we thought it would be a good idea to try.
Yeah, but no, I think it's a good approach, guys. I like this behind the scenes thing. It kind of reminds me of it's like the making of documentary. It's like something I would have loved to get with like with working designs back in the day.
For what they wish for.
Remember, you can press the X, Y, or Z button, and it'll swing you around to look at the boss.
No, I didn't remember that, but thank you. That helps. But yeah.
We'll learn little by little.
And with this boss, it's also perhaps a good idea to attack him from the ground with your weapon you have.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Here, let's do that.
You know, I've never tried that, I don't think.
Yeah, I
never
always
tried
tried it from above.
Can I look up though? Can I look up at him?
So okay, yeah. Here's another sort of hidden thing. If you hold shoot while you're not running, then the D-pad will allow you to aim.
Oh, if you hold shoot while you're not running. Okay.
Yeah. So you have to initiate shooting in neutral, and then you use the D-pad, and it'll let you aim instead of moving.
Let's give that a shot.
Keep going straight.
But yeah, I mean that's one of the cool things about Bulk Slash is that they like the
So how
it's
do you...
sort of designed to be approached in different ways. You could attack from the ground, you could attack from the air. Sometimes what I do is I like perch on one of the buildings in walker mode and just kind of snipe it.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to work because I think his weak spot is on the top in the
How
center.
do I?
It's the
But how do
body,
I
it's not his
aim?
legs.
Here's the problem. I can't
Hold down the fire button and
Yeah,
then
hold
use
down the fire.
D-pad.
hold the
Yeah.
left.
No, the fire button.
Hold
the B button.
Hold the B button, and then you move it around. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see. Wow,
Yeah, there we go.
that makes a difference. Okay, so
Yeah, I think the weak point is on the top.
Muffus, were you saying something about the feet?
You can also shoot different parts of the enemy. Then, yeah.
that was awkward.
And
It's,
then
it's kind of awkward just having to hold fire in order to like stay there. Yeah, but
Yeah, it feels
I got it now.
different.
yeah, you get
Waste
used to it,
your-
but it's strange in the beginning. That's true.
Waste all your special ammo.
They did interesting stuff with the controls on this game. You know.
Pick a dang stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were trying to do a lot with a little.
What I don't like is that you have 3 buttons used as the same one, like the X, Y, and
Yeah.
Z. That's a little bit.
They could have done something with those.
And we're not able to change that. Perhaps we can get some help from someone. Yeah.
What would you want on those buttons instead, though? I can't really think of anything.
Looking up and down, for example, or like what we talked about last time, decreasing the speed.
Yeah, that would be a good
I would have loved that just instantly made it 0 like momentum. So you just do a fast stop, like you hit the brakes.
Oh yeah.
Compared to
Whoa, that would be great. Yeah.
yeah, that was my complaint because I get slowing down, but sometimes it's like you need to make an instant stop and make a U-turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I think Dan mentioned that if you hold the speed button, you can decrease the speed. I couldn't
Yeah,
make
if you
it.
hold, if you hold the speed button and you press up or down the D-pad, you can set the speed or whatever you want.
That's fine. And then I thought about it if we would be able to change the settings, if we could like change it like a combination of if you press Z, then it's like holding down and beats in the same time. But I don't think it would work. But it would be great if we could do that.
No, I think you all should add a self-destruct button just for the trolling effect. It's like you're just hitting the buttons and just explode and just die. It's like, oh no, not that button.
Yeah, I think that's A, B, C, and start in any Saturn game.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
You just need to make
Actually, when you need to make a hard stop, you can just transform for like a split second.
I didn't think about that.
Because he doesn't have inertia
Okay, so like when you're doing,
yeah,
when you're flying, and then you just make a hard stop, and yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and you can rotate while you're doing that if you need to turn around quickly, because the flight mode doesn't turn very sharply, but if you transform while holding the rotate button, and then quickly transform back, you can turn pretty sharp. I don't know how often you really need to do that, but it's like an advanced bulk/tech.
There you go.
Tips from people who have played this game way too much.
Yeah, I think I've cleared this entire game at least like 15 times just this year.
Jeez, dedication right there.
Yeah, we gotta test these things before we give them to you, or at least try. Like we had some trouble with this particular patch where, for some reason, a couple things that were supposed to be in English, we went and play tested it, and they were in Japanese. Like the end boss discussion between the player character and the end boss that we added a few weeks ago. The first half of it was in English, and then when I beat the boss, then they all started speaking Japanese. I'm like, well, what's going on? Why? You know? And so we think we get that fixed, and then, you know, Greg and Burntens were playtesting it, and they're like, oh yeah, when you pick up some of the navigators, the text is in Japanese. Like, how is that even happening? So I spent like an hour and a half late at night on Wednesday, I think, trying to fix that. So luckily we got that all fixed though.
Yeah, there's so much confusion just among us with like the different versions that we're passing back and forth. So the thought of like releasing incremental builds to the public,
yeah, it's
felt like a bad idea.
Guys need to get a GitHub going on.
We should try and track down that one bulk slash speedrunner, see if he can help us beat the game faster.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Well, didn't Edobean say that she had a friend who was like a bulk slash speedrunner? We should try to get him on board. Edobean, by the way, is
all the cutscenes.
Sorry?
Wouldn't they just instinctively skip all the dialogue and cutscenes?
You can. Well, we asked him not to, but I mean, you really can't skip like the dialogue she's saying during the mission, you know. There's really only like a couple of cut scenes, quote unquote, during the game, and they're before and after the last boss. So as long as the person just resists the urge to mash start through those and listens to it, if we need them to test it, they could probably just listen to it for a second and be like, okay, yeah, it's in English, we're fine. You know, that's all we really need.
Turns out that the first half is in English and the second half's in Japanese.
Yes, that's...
No, that couldn't happen. That couldn't happen. Because the
problem is though that often when we're testing this, the goal isn't to clear the game as quickly as possible. It's to hear as many of the voice clips as possible on a single playthrough. So for me at least, like I end up doing a lot of like idling to hear the idle lines that she drops, or like, I don't know, when I'm feeling really ambitious, I'll do the like when the timer's almost out, they have a unique line, so you gotta just like sit there for 8 minutes.
Sorry to interrupt, but in this scene where after you destroyed the boss, you could see the model of the mech in 3D. I think it was one of those rare moments.
Really?
Yeah, that's a really cool touch. It's one of those things that they didn't have to do, but they went for it. They made a unique 3D model for the ship that you only see if you happen to be close enough to the boss when you kill it.
For the mech that you're piloting?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't even see that. I wasn't even paying attention. Wow.
Yeah, you were
every
inside
time.
the explosion.
I'll have to
ships,
look back at the recording.
Isn't the ship that you're escorting this mission, aren't they being escorted by other guard duels? The other models of the mech?
Yeah, they kind of look like it, but they're a little different, I think.
I couldn't tell.
Like they're similar. Also, please note that the word defense is above the ship. I had to fix that because they misspelled. They put defend and they spelled it with an I, like D-I-F-E-N-D. And I noticed that on a playtest run one day. I'm like, huh, should probably fix that.
Yeah, there's like a handful of English words that are spelled wrong in the original game, and Dan went through and fixed, I think, all of them now.
Hopefully all of them. Yeah, like just the word navigator in the navigator select screen. They spelled it with, you know, an E toward the end of it instead of OR. Cringy.
It's kind of like there also is the bone that you have to save.
Yeah, that's the most glaring one. Is that all the bombs are labeled BOM.
That took a day to fix. Day 2. Yeah, I kept finding more examples of it. I'm like, okay, cool. I got the word bomb fixed in the mission. This should be good. Oh, right. It says bomb shield at the top. We need to fix that. Oh, right. The mission, like, briefing says bomb and BOM. Where do I find that icon, you know?
We're gonna finally release this thing and realize that all along the title was supposed to be Bark Slush.
Oh, no.
It's like Winkle Liver Story.
Yeah, Linkle Liver Story, that kind of bugs me too. Like, I would not have minded it if that team had decided to, like, edit that title screen and make it Wrinkle River Story or whatever.
Right, exactly. That's what makes it just the OCD in you, you know? Because even the, you know, British OSSM magazine, you know, they put Wrinkle River in the review.
Like, they knew what it was supposed to be.
They knew what it was supposed to be. And so it's like, you know, when people argue about that online, they're like, well, it's actually Wrinkle River. I'm like, you know, you're not wrong, but then again, if you look at the title screen, it still says Linkle Liver, so you kind of have to go with that.
Yeah. And on the side of the box, it does say Linkle Liver Story, so it's like, I don't know, I'm a big fan of Word of God. And like, if it says it on the box, that's to me the title.
It's like incorrect. It's correct being in its incorrectness, and you know, for that matter, there is no mention of wrinkles or rivers in that game. So
I mean, there is a river though.
Yeah,
in
that's
the open area.
There is a river. There's a body of water.
A river with beautiful reflections of clouds in it. Think using transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what you gonna do?
You're sore. Something's coming, and it ain't no small fry.
Yeah.
And it ain't no small fry. I like that. Hey, there's a river right here. River runs through it.
It sure is.
River Story.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have enough life left to fight this guy.
Remember XYZ, that really helps with this guy because he moves around so fast.
Right, yes.
And set your speed up higher.
Put my speed up higher?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's nailing you.
All right.
Yeah, the fast speed is required on this one.
Okay.
Keep going straight.
Because you need to dodge all those bullets.
Yeah, they're not easy to do.
Yeah, this is a little more like a shmup boss.
What helps a lot for stuff like this is to look at the mini-map, and it'll show all of the bullet patterns.
Yeah, I just saw that. I did just see that. That was a good tip right there. Is take a look at the mini-map. I might have to do this over again, unfortunately.
Get to hear more voice lines. It's a win-win.
Wait for this project to be done so I can pick a repro of this, almost like a trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think Sam had one, but I'm not sure because I know Dave likes doing those. I wonder, how do you feel about that situation, Dave? Do you think
yeah. Well, right now I feel like I've got so much going on.
If you wait to continue a little bit, you can hear her say some stuff here.
Yeah.
Really?
Should I hit continue?
Don't wait too long.
Yeah.
I guess like one.
Together.
Okay, I thought she was gonna say something else. Okay, so she didn't call me a nitwit though. That's we'll do this.
She's not the call. She's not the princess.
No. We'll do this again. Yay! Escort missions.
My favorite.
So
I'm
you
having
can
to like
pay a visit to medical if you like to, but then say no. Don't take her.
Let's hit. Keep going straight.
Yeah, you know, I'm having not playing this as much as you guys. It's definitely like I'm having to like reaccustom to the controls every time I play it.
Well, it's happened to me always that I lose to a boss or something like that.
Is it?
There's just a lot of controls for a game of this era. I feel like it was rare for a game to give you this much control over your avatar, especially in a 3D game back then. So yeah, it did a lot to.
Ace Combat's time slow. Ace Combat's slow and methodical versus this.
Right.
It's behind us.
Yeah, I'm definitely be putting up this Let's Play we're doing tonight. I didn't do last week's Let's Play because Dave already put up 2 different Let's Plays of Death Mask.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know if I want to put up a third one. I don't want to spam the channel with just the Death Mask stuff.
Yeah, I need to be watching that mini map for sure.
So yeah, this one will definitely go up for the next one because I kind of like this as a mini doc, like a mini docu behind the scenes thing.
Oh, wow.
You just make a bulk slash playlist.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do once we
good
get
idea.
more than one video up.
Yeah, we should probably make a Death Mask playlist too because there's so many videos. There's like so much coverage of that. It's like gotta have like a playlist to keep it all straight. But yeah.
So what do you guys think of E3?
Keep going straight.
Oh, I know you said. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, Limited Run I think was my favorite of the streams. It was the one that had the most
I
interesting
feel the
stuff.
same way. Yeah, actually, Mega 64. Mega 64, the guys that did that one. If you remember the thing, the guys that were in the beginning digging up the game.
Keep going straight.
Those are 2 of the guys behind the Mega 64, and they actually inspired me to do podcasts and stuff because I think they got really influenced a lot of my sense of humor. So it's cool seeing them do the press conference though.
It's behind us.
Did it just say shit on the screen? I thought
A hit.
Oh, okay. I thought it said shit with an exclamation point.
Congrats, you're in the 5-hit club. Let me write it on your arm.
A 5-hit club. Nice.
5 shit club.
Something's coming, and it ain't no small fry.
But yeah, no, Limited Run Games is pretty cool. I'm kind of excited that they have a Rondo of Blood coming out. That looks pretty interesting for the PC Engine.
Yeah, to answer your question though, Pat, sorry not to interrupt, but I would love to do a repro of this. I just feel like if I was deferring to Sam, if it's like he had something going on it, I didn't want to like, step on his toes because I had enough projects going on without, I had enough projects going on, even stuff that I haven't released yet, so I figured, okay, I'll let him. But that's the thing is he's super busy too, so I don't even know. I might. We could always do like
collaborate.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Is maybe we just collaborate and make something happen.
You guys can use your small amount of time to combine into one
Nice job.
giant amount of time. Nice.
Yeah.
And then that way you can combine those time slots.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Sam's been really busy though. I haven't seen him around recently.
Yeah, he's just working his butt off.
So
Yeah.
I see in the chat that Crash Direction asked if we know if there were any specific influences for this game for the original creators, any shows or other games, and I have not really found any like developer interviews or anything. I haven't really looked too much. It'd be interesting if there were any out there, but yeah, we don't know of any specific inspirations for it. I mean, except that we know that some of the developers were formerly of Technosoft, so their idea seemed to be with this game that they wanted to make a shmup, a shoot 'em up game, but in 3D. And so a lot of the kind of systems and the pace of play are inspired by shmups.
I definitely feel it too. It seems that way.
I just I was playing through Thunder Force 4 a little while ago, and I noticed that the speed gauge works exactly the same in that as it does in this, where it goes up in chunks, or if you hold the button, you can go up, bit by bit. And it's got the thing where you can pick the stage order too.
At least 3 of them. Keep going
Yeah,
straight.
if I can guess influences, it definitely has a harem sort of feel to it, at least in my view.
Going straight.
Definitely went in that aspect.
Keep going
Well,
straight.
I feel like the intro cutscene, when it has like the Miss logo flashing, I feel like that just came straight off Evangelion.
Oh yeah, probably. Because this game came out in 1997, so that was a good couple years after Evangelion. And actually, the 24th anniversary of Bulk Slash will be coming up in a few weeks on July 11th. That's when it released in Japan.
Nice.
Really?
And
Yes. July 11th, 1997. So we hope to have another patch out around that time to maybe show off on your show and maybe try to make a little bit of a celebration out of it for the game's anniversary. That would be fun.
We should probably make Pat stream it so that he has some time with it too. You know, I feel guilty being the one to do all the streaming with. I know he enjoys it too. Right, Pat? You're into this game, right?
Yeah, I pretty much get to where you are right now. I'm pretty decent at it from what I've remembered, but I'd be down to play some more of it.
She's not. Oh, there we go. I was gonna be like, she's not talking to me.
Too high.
Got it.
Yeah, but actually, speaking of Eva, like the costumes of the navigators kind of look like the plug suits almost.
Yeah, kinda.
I did that so much quicker than the first time that I played this.
Yeah, see, just a little bit of practice.
Yeah, that's all it takes, you know, a little bit of practice and familiarity.
That's another thing that's very shmup feeling. You know, you play it for the first time, you don't know what you're doing, you get your ass handed to you. And then once you play it again, you're a little better. You play it again, you start getting the hang of it.
Right.
And then you're trying to 1cc it.
Now, I heard you guys say that the front, I should shoot the front.
Yep.
Except trying to do that and then not get killed is difficult.
This is like the worst boss for me.
That's,
I die on it pretty often.
He moves kind of quick.
you just have to, like learn the order, because like certain parts are vulnerable at different times. Like right now, you can only attack the nose.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
There you go.
It kind of reminds me of the boss in Corneria, like from Star Fox 64. You fight him and you shoot his different parts. I think that's no.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and then they break off as you destroy him.
Yeah.
Oh, Corneria, yeah. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, he just handed my ass to me.
Ooh, he destroyed me. But yeah, speaking of Eva, Emerald and I are itching to get that 4.0 going on. We've been waiting. How many months now? Is it 3 months?
Pick a dang stage.
Pick a dang stage.
You lost me. What are you talking about?
With Eva, we've been itching to get that Eva 4.0 going. It's been like 3 months now, 4 months?
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, you said 4, and I keep thinking of it as 3+1 because Japan.
Let's get. Keep going.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if supposedly they've already started releasing in other countries. I don't know when the DVD releases, but I thought it was supposed to be happening already.
Yeah, I'm itching for it because I really want to watch 3.0 plus 1.0 because I think both Emerald and I are huge Eva fans and we really want to watch this. And the fact that no cam rips have become public is an annoyance. And
The weak spot is the gun on top with these guys.
Alright, I'm trying to get up on top of this
That would help.
Yeah, I imagine. Let's see.
Usually fly at it, but that's kind of like a speedrunner type of a thing. So honestly, I watched a speedrun of this game on YouTube one time. I cannot tell you right now who it was, otherwise I would. But that kind of taught me like really good, efficient ways of killing things in this game. And just flying around all over the place. And yeah, with these guys, you can seriously just like fly at them real fast. Then when you're making your attack approach, slow down.
Right.
And just hammer that gun on top until it dies.
Bingo, you nailed it. That leaves 3 of them.
Oh yay, 3 of them.
There you go.
I think
And they drop a shield recovery too.
Oh, did
Yeah,
they?
on the ground. Yep.
Oh, but also, there's a mountain in this stage. It's the highest point in the stage, and that has an item that recovers your shield entirely.
Yeah, it's a max shield. It's in one of the corners, I think.
Yeah,
why no PC shield?
max.
Oh, max shield. I thought I said max shield. It's like, wait, what?
Target close by. Keep going
They say that
straight.
for the boss in case you're like really struggling or something.
I think it disappears during the boss fight. I think everything disappears when you're fighting a
Yeah,
boss,
that's
except
right.
like the stage geometry. So it's a good thing to pick up right before you kill the last of these walkers.
Yep.
I'm having a hard time concentrating on what you guys are saying and actually doing
Yeah,
this.
that's what you got me for.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I like the crash directs to the level variety here is on point. I do really enjoy that about the game, that it's not the same level over and over again. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
different
I think that's the mountain.
And the music in this, the music in this one is like really chill when it starts out.
Bingo, you nailed it.
and
Well, now it
gets
just
pumped
picked up.
Something's coming,
Yeah.
and it ain't no small fry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's saying that the Blue Moon's saying that he feels the opening FMV takes some inspiration from Gundam 0083's opening. I actually never watched that one. I'm trying to get through the original series right now.
More to the right.
I need to get to the Char's counterattack and then see Char's was it something Vegeta or something like that from Zeta Gundam. That was like the worst disguise of all time.
This is where I wish the game was a little more had a little more story, because like this is interesting. You know, like the enemy has a duplicate guard duel. It's just paint.
Going straight.
Yeah, they just kind of leave you guessing, huh? They like it's very evocative. It's like, well, what's the deal? We'll never know until
Yeah.
Bulk 2.
Yeah, the official website had like a graph that shows the connections of all the characters in the game, and a lot of them aren't even really featured in the game, but they mention them, and how they relate to the main character. And they mention that there's a rival to your main character. And so I kind of am guessing that the person piloting that red mech was probably your rival. You do kind of
Probably a safe
briefly
bet.
see them. Yeah, you do briefly see them in the opening cinematic from the start screen as well.
That's right.
More to the
Yeah,
left.
you see that red mech, so that's my suspicion.
Well, you know, from the recruiting to the readings and the script and everything, you guys have just done a stellar job on this, I have to say. I mean, it doesn't get old,
you.
that's for sure. It just doesn't get old. And Pat was correct. You know, it's very professional. Perhaps one of the most professional translation projects that I have seen. You know, and that's not to mitigate, you know, the work that anybody else has done. But I really have to say, you guys didn't really. You're not half-assing anything here. You know.
Well, thank you. It's
Yeah,
it's great
I
to
really-
hear. You know,
It's gonna
try to be picky and
Yeah, it's gonna be a very polished release when it's all said and done.
More to the right.
I mean, we must say that the technical side is not that complicated, I think, compared to some other projects. But that's a good thing because we all are not really into technical stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we're all
so-
kind of learning on the fly a little bit with that stuff.
Yeah.
Keep going
But so
straight.
thanks to also to Greg and Dan, they put so much effort in
Yeah,
and
you
love
gotta get the
into.
key.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a key.
Yep. It's kind of pointing you toward it's elsewhere in the level.
It's behind.
It basically, this level is a maze, and every floor has a different key to get. It's just a red orb sitting in. It's a key card sitting inside of a red container.
Yeah, then once you get that, then you will be able to activate that elevator. I think it's in this direction.
That's in that direction.
Keep going straight.
And this hall, basically.
to Mompus's point, I do feel like it's really, you know, all
That leaves 4 of
to
them.
be credited to the particular dynamic that this team has. You know, I feel like we complement each other very well, and there's a lot of luck that we were able to come together. And you know, I said on the previous stream, but SHIRO Discord was the hub for that, and I guess first it was your Twitter account, but yeah, it's thanks to you guys that this team ever came together in the first place. So thank you guys again.
There's a different elevator shaft in this level.
Yeah, thank you.
She's
You
not
guys are the power team.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm really it means a lot that you guys say that, and that's the reality. Is I'm just glad that something good came out of this. What we're doing in this community. And I'm glad, of course, yeah, I'm glad that you guys, found some good synergy working together, There's nothing like a good group of folks working together on something and being able to work efficiently and get along with each other, for sure. So, but yeah, glad to hear that we had some tiny little part to play. And I mean, of course, we're always happy to promote the hell out of the project, and make sure that as many people know about it as possible. That's kind of our job.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're not making any money off of this. We're just doing this for free, and we'll release the patch for free, but it's still, it would be good to get the word out as much as possible so as many people get to enjoy it and experience it and find out how awesome Bulk Slash is,
Yeah, the whole reason you're doing it, is so that people can experience it.
Yeah, no one here's... Sorry, go ahead, Mompus.
Yeah, we shouldn't forget also the effort of all the other volunteers, like Burntens, yeah, for sure, or all the voice casts, or like Jiggle, who's now producing with his brother the music, and all the other people.
Yeah, and our fantastic actors who, donated hours of their time and their talents to this for, just out of the goodness of their hearts.
Yeah, we've recorded, 4 navigators' voices now, and we only have 2 implemented in the game, but we've recorded 4 of them, and the recording sessions take, about 3 to 4 hours to get through all those lines.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I mean, I guess that doesn't surprise.
We actually came up against... a bunch of issues, so we ended up doing, I wish I could remember, I think we did, it was either 2 or 3 I think it was 2 sessions, but they were each, I think, about 4 hours. I might have that long. It was a long haul. Yeah. I mean, it was easy because we've known each other for years, and been present for most of the major events of each other's lives, so it was like hanging out with a friend that I haven't seen in a while.
The elevator you were at was the correct one. It said down, and you gotta go down.
So you're just trying to go downwards and more. And
step more into it.
So this says down, right? Yeah. So
go into it all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now she's not talking to me anymore, though. Isn't that weird? Like, should she be? Because
the navigator isn't as useful on this stage because it's kind of a maze.
All right.
You can force her to talk by pressing X.
You can what?
You can force her to say something if you press X.
I am pressing X, Y, and Z right now. She's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Okay. It might be because you're on a floor where you already got the key. So yeah, go through straight through that door, and then that should take you to the next elevator. No, there.
This doesn't like you.
Yeah, there's like a limit to how many times you can ping them too. I think if you ping them a couple times and not enough has changed, they'll just stop saying anything.
Like, you figure it out.
Keep going straight.
Yeah, like if they say go straight and then the target is still straight ahead of you, they won't keep saying go straight. Although it's kind of weird because in other stages, they'll just say it incessantly even when you don't ping them. Like when you're looking for the bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Go straight, go straight, go straight every few seconds.
And we do not know enough about the game to be able to change that, so I am sorry.
I mean, I wouldn't want to anyway. I feel like
that's
I'm not
the way they wanted it.
I'm not interested in tweaking their game design and saying I know how to make a game better than these guys. I just,
right.
I see this as a preservation effort.
You guys
That's why we'll never be working
where
designs.
they make Bill Clinton jokes and make it a lot easier?
No.
Yeah, I mean, working designs, I think that they, probably yielded a net good, but a lot of those, like, that felt like a lesson, like an important lesson for localization. It's like, don't meddle too much. Like Silhouette Mirage, I played that on the PS1 and then learned that they had, like, really altered the whole balance of the game, which like tremendously affected the pacing because they had changed how the economy worked to like buy weapons. So it was like a fundamentally damaging change to the game that it just kind of was baffling to me that they had that degree of control and it was just completely unchecked.
I like the idea. I think I think it was like the prehistoric time for those localizations, because back then, I mean, that was just up to the point where we weren't getting English games where it's like we have like all your base level of dialogue. We're actually getting translations and efforts, and I think it was like a work in progress thing. And I think where we are right now with localizations, both professional and fan implementation, is really good. And I think some of the fans back then that saw that are getting...
Nope, wrong elevator.
Oh, wrong
elevator. Honestly, I think back in those Wild West days, I think Konami was the gold standard for localizations.
Yeah, me too.
Because the what's his name? The guy that did a Snatcher and Metal
Jeremy
Gear,
Blaustein.
Yeah, like
from Planet Blau.
Seriously.
Planet Blau.
Honestly, Metal Gear Solid completely blows any of the Lunar and the other working design games out of the water.
Oh,
and
yeah.
even like the other, like the future Metal Gear Solids, I feel like MGS1 stands out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was wondering, but then I remembered the German version of Metal Gear Solid. And,
Can we get this done today? She just said. That's great. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, no,
we can get this done today.
But yeah, I think what I like about Metal Gear Solid is just all the actors in there that are in there are like still like professionals doing it today. Like we have people that play Naomi, she does a ton of them. The guy that does the Colonel. I can't remember what their names are. And of course David Hayter's doing a bunch of games.
Naomi is Jennifer Hale, I think.
Yeah, Jennifer Hale, because she's done a ton, including, funnily enough, Samus Aran in one way or another.
You should try the German version of Metal Gear Solid 1, Pat.
Is it
South Deutsch?
Holy cow, that Bezier blaster was really good for that boss.
Yeah.
It's B-Movie schlecht.
Oh, das ist lustig.
You have to say.
So, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's kind of sad seeing how good Metal Gear Solid is, and then you see Suikoden 2 and how garbage the translation is.
Yeah. A lot of that's like the teams and stuff though, because I think it was because it was like the Kojima-led teams versus whoever did the Suikoden games.
So, little note about the
this guy.
Bezier blaster.
Yeah.
The weapon he was using that looks like a Ghostbusters beam.
Yeah, it worked really good.
That word, maybe some of you tech guys in the chat are familiar with this word. Apparently it's a mathematical term that comes up in computer graphics
Bezier?
circles, a lot. Bezier curve.
Bezier would be the name, I believe, of some French guy that would have formulated it. But essentially, you just set up a series of points, and it generates a curve based off of key points.
Yeah, and I think the idea is that's the tech that inspired how that weapon would look. I mean, that's probably how they made that weapon in the game.
He used that formula, yeah.
Yeah, so they just called it Bezier Blaster, which feels like a very nerdy, like inside baseball name for your weapon. But every time that we record one of these navigators, that becomes like the sticking point. They're all like, what's this word? And I'm like, I barely know. But I thought it would be fun if Rupia, because she's sort of like the ragtag one, if she pronounced it without the fancy French pronunciation. So she says Bezier Blaster. It was just one of those little touches we tried to put in there.
That's great.
So, fun fact, that technique that was pioneered sometime in the 60s, and the first thing they used it for is design the body of cars.
Yeah, actually, I just read that the other day, and I brought that up. Like, we were doing a recording session for a different person. I'm like, hey, so did you know? I'm sitting here reading on Wikipedia or whatever. He used this to design the bodies of Renault cars or whatever. Renault, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Renault.
Wouldn't be like something like Tesla gun, that?
Honestly, I would change it to like Tesla or something.
There actually is in Command and Conquer they have a Tesla coil. That's
Actually, no, I would change the Napalm Blaster to Tesla because
I hate this level.
Napalm Blaster is not a napalm weapon. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I don't know why they thought napalm.
Oh no!
The thing, Tesla coil is an actual thing, though.
Tesla coil, yeah.
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 Oh god. Yeah, I get it. Gotta get these bombs.
Yeah. I didn't name the weapon after like that terrible weapon used in Vietnam. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's also it's not the most tasteful thing to bring up either. Although at the time, I remember that it was like a little bit of a trope in PS1 era games to have a napalm. Like, do you remember Twisted Metal had napalm?
Yes.
They literally have Napalm Man and Mega Man.
Yeah, and Mega Man.
Yeah.
It sounds like a high number Mega Man X villain or something.
Yeah.
I think Napalm Man got censored in one of the releases.
Yeah, I think that might have been the case. I remember. I don't know if you guys know the channel. It's called SEGA Gunner.
SEGA Gunner.
Oh yeah, I know the high quality rips.
Yeah, like I always love those because I think the funniest one was they did a rip of Mega Man, but they changed I think it was doing one of the themes of one of the flame enemies, and they changed the song to a cover of "It Ain't Me" by like CCR, and it's like, hey, look, it's Napalm Man's stage music.
God.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I check it. If you guys haven't heard this stuff, check them out. They do a ton of funny covers, and like they do a bunch of dumb ones. It's pretty hilarious.
At least one of them.
You're right though about the trope about just everything has to have napalm weapons back then.
I mean that's something like for you Americans it must be more. You are more sensitive to this thematic. Yeah, like I think the rest of the world, especially Japanese, didn't have this relation to napalm, perhaps.
Well, right, because we abused it.
Yeah, we're the ones using it. We weren't really victims of napalm.
Yeah, like in Germany, do they have they probably are sensitive to like gas chambers in Germany, right?
Exactly, or like the Zen gas or something like that.
Yeah.
It's more our
I lost it.
Yeah. Or like like jokes about Jews like used in Family Guy. Yeah, we couldn't do that in the same manner, in the same theme like they do.
Not to bring that up, I know one joke that probably definitely wasn't aired in Japan for that.
I cannot seem to figure out where I'm supposed to go to get this thing back. I lost it.
I think what happened last time, and I think it's happening again, is you're going low, and pretty much all of the relevant things in this stage happen on the same plane, a little above you.
All right, so I'm having her guide me, and I still don't know where I'm supposed to go to find this bomb.
It's right there.
The bomb slipped off of him, like he lost the bomb.
Yeah,
it
lost
came off of his grip.
Now I'm
reset. It's taking you back to the mining operation.
Okay. Yeah, I hate this level. I really do.
Yeah.
because they can knock it out of your hands, you know.
Yeah, it's actually easier not to shoot anything because the explosions created are so large they will hurt you and destroy the bomb.
And you just illustrated that perfect.
Yeah, what I usually try to do is full speed like you're doing, but then use the strafe to zigzag a little bit so you can sort of juke around
everything.
Okay, all right, so
I drift around everything in this level. I don't even shoot. It's like
I will
later,
take that advice to heart. So just drift.
Is there a possibility?
I do the El Drifto and
the El Drifto. Nice.
Is there a possibility for a shield? Is there a shield somewhere? I would take one before getting to the boss.
All right, so now that I have like no shield left, I get to fight the hardest boss.
GLHF, my friend, GLHF.
To get back to the point Burnt Ends raised about napalm, I feel like that does get to one of the sort of trickier things about this project, at least from my perspective, which is that I feel like the aim, as fans doing an unofficial thing with the like, for me the aim has always been I wish that I could share this game with people that don't speak Japanese. So it's a preservation thing. It's not let's sell Bulk Slash to a modern, Western audience. I mean, obviously you want people to like it, but I feel like that's the difference between this project and if someone were actually officially localizing this as a product. I think people in that position would have much more license and maybe even a responsibility to change details like that maybe didn't age very well, like in this game, there's not a ton of that stuff, but there are a few details where we're like, that's a little uncomfortable, but I feel like it's not really our job to hide that stuff. If anything, it's our job to present the game as close to what it was to begin with,
Right. It's not our job to censor stuff. It's just your job to present as it was made, and if people...
Yeah, we're not presenting this to the ESRB, so I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you guys aren't presenting to the ESRB, so it's not any concern to do that.
Yeah, and we don't mean to take credit or responsibility for the developer's work, It's just to convey the language of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sense it all the time in the Soccer Wars project.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that did not age well in Soccer Wars. Even with Police Knots, I think Dave and I were talking about how a lot of stuff did not age well in that at all, especially some of the extra scenes in that.
Agreed.
I think Jonathan uses a bunch of anti-gay slurs in that game.
Oh god.
Yeah, not to mention he literally molests like half the woman in that game.
No, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an issue recently? Not recently, but not too long ago. I think it was like a Doraemon game or something like that, where there was like some sort of transphobic slur or something in Japanese that got translated accurately, and they Twitter hounded the guy that did the translation.
Yeah, I remember that. It was the what was that called? The hidden. It was one of the guys that do the cut content. I forgot what the name of that thing was, but I do know about that. Like, it's definitely tricky for sure. I think it's one of those things where it's always skirting the edge of, do we want to keep it accurate as possible, or do you want to fix it to make it less problematic in some aspects? And that's always it's always a thin line that you skirt in that aspect of it. Where yeah.
And again, how much does that really offend people, or how much is that people just trying to make a big deal of it, because obviously you don't endorse that or condone it, but you're not trying to comment on it, you're just trying to translate it accurately. You're like, in most cases, transliterating it. I mean, you could argue that when you're localizing, you're localizing for that you could consider, sensibilities in the localization, like things that you wouldn't put in there. I don't know. Different ways to look at it.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to, it's for each, localizer or translator to examine what their goal is. And, and even then, I think you got to look at each case individually. If something is really, like, if you think it's gonna, like, really hurt people when it comes out, it might be worth, re-examining your policy and being, well, like, yeah, preservation is important, but do we want to do more damage by with this project?
Exactly. Preservation is not worth it at the expense of actual people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing is, we want. You also kind of want people to know where you stand, So I could definitely see how that's awkward as a translator, because it's like you don't want, by doing that and putting that out, it can seem like you're putting your name on that, and you're not necessarily complicit with it, or saying that you agree with that. But yeah, it's a tough. Honestly, that's a tough place to be. You know, you've got some tough choices to make.
Because ultimately,
we're still looking for possibilities to put a disclaimer like where we can describe this.
Yeah,
and I think that's a great idea, though. I think it is something like at least in the notes being like, yeah, this is the language and depiction it was in the 90s. We don't necessarily agree with what some of the things they say.
Yeah.
But it's translated to the best of our ability that we can without cutting the content.
Yeah, you know, a good example, Disney Plus, you know, you should see what they do for Peter Pan, you know? Like the depiction of the Native Americans.
That actually. Yeah, we talked about that in the team when discussing this, like, should we put a disclaimer? We thought about replacing the now loading screen with, like, a disclaimer, but for one, like, the screen is just a blank screen with one little texture in the corner that says now loading, so there's not really, like, a whole screen to edit. We'd have to be inserting new images and somehow inserting new draw calls into the game to display them, for one. And for two, the now loading screen appears throughout the game, not just at the very beginning. So that would get kind of weird looking to keep showing a disclaimer.
Yeah.
So
it is fascinating, though. It is fascinating in that aspect and just that debate.
Yeah, I can't do this.
Culturally, I think even now people struggle with that, like with the.
You got so close.
I know.
Like with the Tokyo Mirage sessions with the bikinis, and a lot of people were furious because they removed the bikinis and the localization. And I mean, there definitely is pluses and minuses to doing that, and it does suck when there's content lost. So it's definitely one of those things where it's like, yeah, it is kind of weird and creepy because a lot of the people wearing the bikinis are like underage technically.
You got a name, don't you?
But yeah. Oh yeah, you're doing the was it Rush 2049 that does that? The name entry thing?
Yeah. I just like, she's like, you got a name, don't you? I really like the.
I thought you were, I can't even. I thought you were quoting the what's your name thing from Rush.
Yeah, this
she
was
said,
an
that's your
example.
name? What a crime. That's great.
This was an example for for a sample that wasn't in English in our first try to release.
Well, that's we got to wrap this up because I do need to do some stuff around the house with the kids and stuff. Time flies, yeah, when you're having fun. And I mean, I could have. We'll get it. I'll have another opportunity to do that.
Yeah, each week you're gonna get a little better.
That's
for
right.
Each stream.
Yeah, there's 7 of these.
Also, I totally didn't hit my green screen again.
Oh, you? So you did hit it then?
I totally didn't. It didn't knock it down, so it doesn't count.
Well, anyway, thanks you guys. Thanks Dantrax for reaching out to us this morning and giving us this. I know it was a little impromptu, but yeah.
Thanks for being quick on your feet and reacting in short notice. We wanted to get to you earlier, but like I said, we had some problems. So
if I'm being
glad
completely honest, I had nothing. you guys kind of saved me because I was literally just gonna be like, Pat, what should I stream today? I have nothing. You know,
honestly, you should do Sakura Wars sometimes, or Sakura Wars.
Yeah, I know you all, but we only have an hour to stream. Like, doing a really texty, click-heavy. That's the thing I always have with it. There's not much to showcase, but Pat, when you do, when he does those like Saturn anime streams where he goes for like 3 or 4 hours, that's ideal for like doing a Sakura Wars because then you have enough time to like. I'm gonna do I should stream Sakura Wars just to make Pat happy. I think I will.
That's why you do columns, guys.
Actually,
I've
Pat,
been talking about Emerald Note, huh?
if you want to send me a save where you can dump me into like a battle or something like that, that might be a good idea to do a Sakura Wars stream because I don't even have a save for Sakura Wars, and I'm so sorry to say that, but I just haven't had the time to. It's a game I definitely want to play, but I just haven't had the time to like get into it. And I do not want to start an RPG where I'm gonna play, a solid like 25 hours and then have to put it on hold and forget what I did, and then have to come back to it. That's the thing. I want to be able to.
I know Emerald and I were talking about doing an anime stream of some nature, but I honestly got too busy and forgot about it. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
Hey, are we gonna do like a Southwestern meetup thing? I think you mentioned that anime convention that's coming up not too far from now.
Oh yeah, Sabaton Con, or is it Tayo? I think it's Sabaton. Is it Sabaton or Tayo? I think it's Sabaton. It's in September. I'm gonna try and get in there and do a panel as my other podcast is Spirit Hunters, so there'll be some representation in that nature. We'll see what's going on with that. I'm definitely doing that one. So if you guys are anybody in the valley that does a meetup, see me and meet up and talk anime and Saturn, feel free to hit me up. I'll be at Sabaton Con whenever the dates are for that. Check it out.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
See you there.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us today for the SHIRO show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Can't wait for the next one. And is it true that Nick did some voiceover work for you guys?
It is.
Sure is.
Uh-oh. Getting some pandemonium in our game.
But you gotta beat the game to hear him.
Oh, is that right?
Also, we need to put it into the actual ending cutscene, which we have not done that yet.
That's going to be awesome. Folks are going to be like, Mr. Panda. And he should, and then he should just slip a fun fact in there. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Guess you get some Craig Stadler in there too.
It's funny. I was telling him he sent us a little like sample clip before we actually did the full-on session, and I was like, "This is really good, but you sound like an informative YouTuber. We need you to sound like grim, you know, like you're talking about war." And then he tweaked his delivery, and it was great. It was just kind of funny.
Nice.
Like you could tell that you do this like you
Professionally.
Hear your vibe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Telling you guys, we need to make a Craig.
Yeah, we need to. Somebody's got to. So he's got all the green. You know, he uploaded a archive of like all of the ripped assets of Stadler. You know, like all the green screen background stuff. Somebody ought to make for the competition like a game that uses all those sprites, throws them all together and makes like a
Craig Stadler dating sim.
Craig Stadler. Yeah, just like
somebody made like they put out a visual novel engine for SEGA Saturn, right?
That's right.
So you can use that with Craig Stadler.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that the visual novel engine is actually built into Joe Engine as a sample.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Nice,
So,
even
yeah.
better.
So
Yeah.
like anyone who wants to make Craig, dating Craig Stadler or Pebble Beach Love Links or something like that.
Yeah.
Free title.
He's like, you need to get better. Oh man.
I'm saying we make Craig Stadler a navigator.
Like a
It would
special
be pretty great.
special anniversary
thinking
patch or
about that.
something like that.
What we do is we replace Leone with Craig Stadler's sprite, and he has all the required voice lines.
Yeah.
Oh, Stadler.
Right down the middle. Just have him say right down the middle instead of going straight, you know? And then if he like dropped the bomb, he'll be like, missed it by that much or something. You know?
It's like better luck next time.
I really like this idea, but I feel like it might be harder than the entire rest of this project.
Well, you'll
to
probably
actually
get
pull
sued by
off.
Craig Stadler.
Yeah, honestly, you could probably just replace the voice acting for one of the navigators and just call it a day.
Get a call on your phone. This is Craig Stadler's estate.
The funny thing, and the best thing is, he has a bunch of other interviews we could take from that as well.
This is true. Yeah.
There's also a video of him like calling himself an asshole or something like that. He like misses a shot and it's like, Craig, you're an a-hole.
Yeah, that's right. He was really upset at himself. Oh man, we gotta wrap this, guys. It's been fun, and yeah. So for folks who are how many people are still watching? I don't know. So 23. Okay, cool. So for you guys that are still watching, I think that this is gonna work to keep this either at 2 or 2:30. Really just depends on my schedule going forward this summer. and I'll let Pat know, and I'll let everybody know. We'll try to give people as much advance notice as possible, but it seems like this later time works for more people, which I imagine it would, because most people are still working when we were doing the 12:30 stream. So yeah, I think we can manage to keep this going at least for the rest of the summer and maybe beyond. And if I'm not able at any point to host with Pat, maybe Nick will have some availability as well, or Ben, or who else? Maybe somebody from our Discord server. Pat can scrounge someone from the Discord server.
Yeah, unfortunately, you guys are gonna be stuck with me. So no matter what happens, you're gonna be stuck with me. So if you like me, that's great. If not, well,
too bad. But Pat's got the availability. He's got that sweet availability. Yeah.
I need to get my voice better though. I'm working on it though. Little by little, I'm getting my voice a lot better. So I used to sound like garbage on the podcast, and now I sound like less garbage. So
nice.
It's an improvement.
You mean the quality or your actual voice?
The way I talk and present myself.
Oh no, it's great. I really loved it from the beginning when I started to listen to the podcast.
Oh, thanks, man. That means a lot. I'm super sensitive about the way that I talk, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like Pat's voice too.
But like I said, it's a work in progress. It's gonna get better, so little by little, as I'm doing this for more years, I'll sound more professional and more radio-esque and stop stuttering as much. And I think I'm getting better at that. But there's
and maybe I'll stop laughing so much. Maybe I'll stop like waffling and not knowing what to say.
You better keep laughing, or you're out.
But anyway, guys, it's been real, and this is Saturn Dave reminding you guys to play your Sega Saturns. Keep watching the Twitters for the Bulk/team and their updates, and checking out Trainer Co, all the busy stuff he's doing.
Lots of busy stuff. iPod. Actually, I need to post some iPod stuff up on my
post some iPod stuff. Yeah, and stay tuned to SegaSaturnShiro.com for Sega Saturn news and more. And then Nick, it's going to be a good long time until he posts another video, because usually it's like it takes him at least a month to get these things, because they're. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. Oh, we have a really good podcast coming up. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but definitely stay tuned, because we got something really special.
Craig Stadler interview. You heard it first.
Not that special. Until next time. Sega Saturn Shiro.
Yep, you
Peace
must
out.
play Sega Saturn.